Man watches live as burglars break into home. While at work, a man received a notification from his home security system saying that the cameras detected people inside his home. He immediately checked the feed from his cameras because no one was supposed to be home at the time. He watched the live stream of 2 burglars breaking into his house. They broke in through the back of his house and headed upstairs. The man immediately dialed 911 and the police said that they would respond quickly as the burglars were actively inside the home. When the police get there, they sneak quietly up the stairs and then tell the burglars to get on the ground.
Your floor now! Your floor now! On your feet!
One burglar escapes out an upstairs window while the police arrest the other one.
Hands behind your back. Who else is with you? Answer me, who else is with you?
The police were able to catch the burglar who tried to escape outside and arrest him as well.
Get up. I'm sorry. Did you need any help walking out of here with John? Well, let's go.
The homeowner was grateful to have installed the security camera because the burglars were unable to steal any of his belongings. High school freshman scares intruder out of home. This video clip simply shows a truck backing up out of a driveway, but the story behind the clip is terrifying.
I really didn't realize that, she had it in her, to stay so calm under fire.
Early one morning, a 14-year-old girl heard someone break into her house. Even though the man was a lot older than her and larger, the younger girl snuck into the kitchen and grabbed 2 steak knives.
Grabbed 2 kitchen steak knives.
She then stood at the front of the house and screamed for the man to leave.
And stood outside the door and started screaming at him. Get out of my house, get out of my house, you don't belong here.
The intruder was incredibly frightened by the girl's bravery and fled the home. As the man was leaving, the girl filmed his truck leaving from her home.
I got him out of the house. I scared him. I took a video of his truck leaving, so I have his license plate number.
From this video, the police were able to find the man's car and arrest him. The girl's family, community, and the police were all shocked by the incident and especially by the teenager's brave actions. The police stated that if the young girl hadn't thought to film the truck, there would have been no other evidence to find the man and that he could have broken into more homes afterwards. Unsurprisingly, the young girl was shaken up by the incident, but had she not been brave and defended herself and her home, the situation could have ended a lot worse. Escalator accident leaves many injured. In this video, a busy escalator malfunctions while a lot of people are using it. The malfunction caused the escalator to reverse and start to move at a very high speed, causing the people riding it to fall and start piling up at the bottom of the escalator.
The fact that it just immediately goes in reverse and you're falling on top of somebody and the person's on top of you and you can't move because someone's on top of them, I mean, it's scary. 2 families riding the escalator were injured and are now suing the company that manufactures the escalator.
It's pretty busy. I mean, it gets a lot of use. It's on track 1 and 3 and it gets lots of usage, especially like game days or when they have the marathon or the functions.
The company was not able to determine why the escalator malfunctioned, leaving many people in Boston to be worried about future malfunctions.
It was just in a absolute free fall. It was like being on the Tower of Terror.
Murdered school teacher's last moments caught on camera. This video was played as evidence in court in the Philip Chisholm murder trial. Philip Chisholm was a 14-year-old high school freshman attending Danvers High School in Massachusetts in 2014. Philip Chisholm was tried and convicted for taking the life of his 24-year-old math teacher, Colleen Ritzer. Most of the evidence for the conviction came from the school's security camera. In the video, Colleen Ritzer walks down the hall, out of frame, and then into the bathroom. Philip Chisholm follows behind her. At first he seems hesitant to follow her, as though he's not sure what he's about to do. But then he makes the decision and goes into the bathroom behind her. Later, Philip can be seen rolling out a garbage can from the bathroom, most likely containing the body of Colleen Ritzer. This video is chilling when you realize what Philip had just done. Philip was tried as an adult and sentenced to life in prison. Door slammed shut in abandoned school. In this video, a group of YouTubers explore an abandoned school in Massachusetts. The school's covered in graffiti, some of it being satanic.
See? There's even more stuff. See, who knows what goes on around here? This whole place is full of devil-worshipping people or something.
The school has a dark history as well. It was originally a prison before it was converted into a mental institution for mentally disabled children. The school was later abandoned, and many people who live near it believe that it's actually haunted. In the video, as they head down a hallway, a door creaks open by itself. Then a loud bang comes from down the hall.
Oh my god, did you get that on tape? That is insane. Oh my god, another door just closed.
Then the door that had opened by itself slams shut.
Oh my god. We gotta get the out of here.
The group is terrified as they thought that they were the only ones inside the school at the time. Their video only provides evidence to the claims of the school being haunted. Fuel truck crashes into electrical pole. In this video, taken by a dashboard camera of another car, a large semi-truck carrying 12,000 gallons of fuel veers off the side of the road and runs into a utility pole. When it hits it, the electrical wires strung along the pole erupt in a burst of sparks. The truck pulls back onto the road and pulls over to the other side. It's a miracle that the fuel that the truck was carrying didn't ignite during the crash. When police arrived to investigate the incident, the truck driver said that a bird had flown into his window, causing him to accidentally crash the truck. Luckily, the driver was unharmed, and no one else was hurt in the crash. Gas explosion in Springfield, Massachusetts. One evening of November 2012, the city of Springfield, Massachusetts was rocked by a gas explosion.
And we have some breaking news to tell you about out of Springfield, Massachusetts, where a massive gas explosion has rocked the city.
In the video, the Scores Gentlemen Club exploded due to a natural gas leak. Luckily, only 2 people were injured, but the explosion completely flattened the building and left a large hole in the road.
Witnesses say there is severe damage to at least one building. The blast could reportedly be felt for miles.
About a dozen public safety officers were injured while trying to contain the fire and explosion. However, none of the officers suffered life-threatening injuries. A portion of the city had to be evacuated in case of more explosions. Whale lands on boat in Plymouth Harbor. In this video, a humpback whale breaches the water and accidentally lands on a boat of whale watchers in Plymouth Harbor.
That incredible video when a whale landed on a boat in Plymouth last weekend.
Fortunately, neither the whale nor the people on board the boat were harmed in the incident, but authorities had to start making it clear to the public to stay away from the whales while boating.
After a number of encounters and close calls with whales right here off the coast of Plymouth, local, state, and federal agencies are ramping up patrols this weekend and handing out these educational flyers to boaters, hoping to keep everyone safe.
The city printed flyers and handed them out to people going out onto the water to inform them of safety precautions to take around whales.
A collision or interaction with these large whales can cause severe damage to the vessel, injury to the whales, or even severe injury or even death to humans.
Whales can be anywhere between 40 to 60,000 pounds, making them highly dangerous to humans. The city wanted to inform boaters not only for their own safety, but also for the well-being of these creatures. Peeping Tom terrifies community. After a few times of a Peeping Tom visiting her window, a woman was finally able to catch him on camera. The woman had specifically set up a camera to record her window in case the Peeping Tom came back to her house. Unfortunately, he did. The video is disturbing as the very creepy man looks in through the window for quite a while. The woman was so disturbed that she didn't want to reveal her identity on the news.
It's terrifying to see someone so close. You know, his face was literally up to the window of my bedroom where I sleep. You know, it's horrifying.
This wasn't the first time the man had visited her house. The first time she ever saw him creeping outside her window was a few weeks prior. Luckily, she'd had her boyfriend over, who heard something at the window.
He told me that he heard rustling outside the window, and he thought it was a critter, and he looked out and he saw a man's face.
The boyfriend went out and saw the Peeping Tom and confronted him.
And he confronted him. He said, "What the F are you doing here?" And the guy quickly said, "I'm looking for my dog," and ran away.
The man apologized and said that he'd only been looking for his dog. However, he would later come back again to try and watch the woman through her bedroom window, causing the woman to put up the camera. Police are hoping that someone will be able to identify the Peeping Tom from the security footage so that they can protect the woman.
I hope someone will recognize him through the video footage and report him to the police, and we could, hold him accountable.
Dumb burglars caught on camera. This video proves that burglars aren't always the smartest. In the video taken from home security cameras from around the house, a car pulls into the driveway of a Boston home. Two women, who make no attempts to hide their identity, get out of the car.
And it looks like they're going to like a party, doesn't it?
While a man, the getaway driver, stays inside the vehicle. The women walk up and try to go through the front door, which is locked. They head around the back to try the back door, but it's also locked. They then try the side door, which is locked as well. While trying this door, one of the women noticed the security camera. Instead of being deterred, she smiles at the camera, apparently unbothered. The women see a window that's been left open and they use a stepladder to climb through it. There's another security camera right outside the window filming them, but they don't seem to care.
Yeah, they didn't seem to be too sensitive to that.
Once inside, they grab a safe, but then notice that the homeowner has come back. The homeowner is talking to the getaway driver, asking him why he's in his driveway. The women try to escape out the window they came in through while taking the safe with them. Unfortunately for them, the homeowner catches them and scares them off. He then calls the police, who have no trouble finding all three of the burglars because they so carelessly ignored the home security cameras. All three were arrested and charged with burglary. When interviewed, the homeowner couldn't help but laugh at how dumb the burglary attempt was.
I just don't know that there was that much brain activity going on.
Fire destroys Massachusetts home. In this video, a fire completely destroys a home in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Firefighters braved the intense heat to take down the fire before it extended any further past the home.
Flames completely tore through this home on Overlook Circle this morning.
3 people occupied the home before it burned to the ground, but fortunately, none of them were home at the time of the fire.
Fire crews say all 3 people who lived there were not home at the time. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but the building is a total loss.
The family suffered a great loss as they lost their home and most of their belongings. The firefighters were not called to the fire in time to save any part of the home. Burglars break into Boston store. In this video, 2 robbers are caught on camera breaking into a store in Boston. They break in by throwing a brick multiple times into the glass front door. Once the door shatters, the 2 men enter the store and start to break down the display cases. They steal around $400 worth of merchandise and completely trash the store.
The door will probably cost you how much to fix?
About $500. They broke another display and probably about $400 on merchandise.
The store owner said that he recognized one of the robbers and that it was someone who he'd seen pass by his store almost every day.
I recognized one.
You know who the guy is?
Yeah, you can tell if I always see him passing by.
He believed that the man had possibly been casing his establishment and had been planning the robbery for a while before the incident. The store owner was upset because not only did he lose $400 worth of merchandise, but he was also going to have to pay a minimum of $500 to get his door fixed. Man steals from donation bin. Unfortunately, even charities aren't immune from robberies. A local community is furious after a man stole bottles and cans from a local donations bin.
It's just unbelievable to see somebody with that kind of disregard.
The community donates empty bottles and cans to a local store that turns in the recyclables for cash. The cash is then donated to charity as well as the local high school sports team.
Really? You gotta be that low?
The cans and bottles bring in a few $100s every month. In the video, a man walks up to the bin, unlocks it, then carries out the bags of bottles and cans and places them in his car.
Just walks over, looks around nonchalantly, unlocks the door.
He didn't realize that there was a surveillance camera filming the area, so his face is completely visible. Because of the video, he was arrested. The community was disgusted that someone could steal from charities and students. They didn't believe that they would need to get better security for garbage, but apparently they do now.
First we thought we'd give him a chance to do the right thing, maybe come down and do a little donation back to the Middleborough High School, but he denied it, and so we're actually going to take him, we're summoning him into court now.
Family comes across great white shark in Boston Harbor. While boating out in Boston Harbor, a family spotted a huge great white shark. The shark was found in an area where many people come to swim and play in the water, so it was really disturbing to see one so close to shore.
Here he goes. My father's a lifelong resident of Ipswich, so I think his jaw dropped a little too, seeing a great white in those waters.
Upon examining the video, experts stated that the great white shark was at least 8 feet long. It also appeared to be a juvenile shark, which are infamous for their aggressive behaviors.
You're a little bit in shock.
Beachgoers were warned to be aware of the possibility of sharks in the water, as local police wouldn't want to have a real-life Jaws incident happen. Before we play the last clip, you've watched this far. Why not consider subscribing to our channel? I post 2 new scary videos every week, so subscribe to make sure you stay up to date with the new releases. People survive plane crash in Massachusetts. In September of 2021, a plane tried to make a landing at the Provincetown Municipal Airport in Massachusetts when it accidentally veered off the runway and crashed into the woods.
This is the site where a Cessna plane carrying 7 people crashed this afternoon in Provincetown. Thankfully, everyone on board survived.
Officials stated that the plane missed the landing because of bad weather conditions. After crashing into the woods, both engines of the plane caught fire and the entire plane was engulfed in flames.
The plane is on Race Point Road before the entrance to the airport, fully involved.
Incredibly, firefighters and police were able to pull everyone out of the plane alive.
Provincetown Fire to all fire and rescue receivers report of a plane crash on Race Point Road.
There were 6 passengers on board as well as the pilot. All 7 people survived the crash and were immediately taken to the hospital. The video shows the fire department and police at the scene of the crash, along with clips of the crashed plane.